Good morning. Thank you all for coming. I'm Mike Manning, President and CEO of the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank. It's my honor and privilege to welcome Governor John Bel Edwards and First Lady Donna Edwards to our food bank for this little press event.
Thank you, Mike, and it's a pleasure to be here. This is not our first trip to the food bank here in Baton Rouge, but I will tell you, as you can see from the shelves behind us, there's not as much product here. And that's why we're having this event, to highlight the need for additional nutritional items that can be distributed to those in need as we approach the holiday season, but also the need for more financial donations. So I want to thank Mike for his work here. I want to also thank Natalie and Jane and Corey for their work and for joining us here today. And you're going to hear from each of these individuals as well. I also want to thank Donna for coming out today to highlight the importance of our food banks. We're here today with a call to action, and that is to help address what has become a very serious problem this holiday season, and to do it early enough in the holiday season where it can be meaningful in terms of providing additional food for the Christmas holidays. Given the recent natural disasters that have been happening across the nation, but particularly out in California, and the response to provide food assistance to those who suffered from those disasters, food banks like the one right here at Greater Baton Rouge, they simply don't have enough food on the shelves. The demand is high and the supply is low. And food banks are able, and this is one of the points I really want to stress, they are able to take financial donations as well as food item donations, and they will make those financial donations go a very long way by securing bulk food product at the lowest possible cost, which allows them to feed more people in need. But one of the things that we've seen happen with all of these disasters is the demand for these bulk food purchases has increased, and therefore the cost of those bulk food purchases have also increased, so the dollar isn't going as far as it used to. And so, quite simply put, we need more dollars to meet the same demand. And so we're calling on people to be generous in their contributions to the food banks and to do it as soon as possible. Food banks traditionally struggle to keep the shelves full during the summer when agencies see an increase in the number of children and adults who don't have enough to eat. But heading into the holidays with depleted shelves is a little bit unusual, and it's quite frankly unnerving because this is the time when I think we are all called upon to be better neighbors to one another and make sure that people have access to nutrition. This is why we're calling on everyone today who have the resources to donate to their local food bank. Statewide, there are more than 783,000 food insecure Louisianans, meaning they don't always know where their next meal is going to come from. Children and seniors are especially vulnerable. Nearly 1 in 4 children and seniors in Louisiana are uncertain of where their next meal will come from. And this is not a problem for just one part of our state, but it is across every region of our state. And that's why food banks are so critical to our state, to our people. And through a statewide network of 900, actually more than 900 community and faith-based organizations and programs, they collectively distribute more than 63 million pounds of food each year to our fellow Louisianans in need. They help connect more than 5,000 low-income individuals and families annually with the Federal Safety Net Nutrition Program, such as SNAP. To give you a more personal example, the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank serves 11 parishes where more than 133,000 families and individuals are considered food insecure, and that's 15% of the population of these parishes. This food bank distributes food to more than 100 charitable agencies that are on the front line serving the hungry. Last year, they distributed the food equivalent of 10.4 million meals and had more than 4,000 volunteers give of their time. So donating to your local food bank will make a significant difference in the lives of those who don't have access to food on a regular basis. And the truth is, we may not have any idea that our neighbor, friend, or maybe even a family member is in need. But thanks to the food banks, like the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank and the others represented here today, help is available to all of these individuals. And we should do all that we can to help keep the shelves stocked. So again, it's a call to action. We're asking everyone to donate today. You can find out about the 5 regional food banks in Louisiana and learn more about the individual agencies that serve statewide by visiting gov.louisiana.gov/feedinglouisiana. That's gov.louisiana.gov/feedinglouisiana. Helping one another is a Louisiana value, and I've seen it, we've all seen it, over and over and over. Louisianans show up for their neighbors when they are in need. Well, this is one of those times. And I know that by working together, this is a problem that we can solve. And there is no better time, there's no more important time than as we approach Christmas holidays to help our neighbors. So thank you all for your time, and thank you in advance for answering the call. God bless you all, and have a wonderful Christmas and holiday season.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Natalie Jaro. I'm the president and CEO of Second Harvest Food Bank of Greater New Orleans and Acadiana. We serve 23 parishes, stretching from the Mississippi to the Texas borders. We reach 200,000 people a year. We serve in excess of 30 million meals. But the reality is that the need is for twice that number of meals. This is a time of year that we're all very thankful. I'm extremely thankful to the governor and to Mrs. Edwards for highlighting this issue of hunger. I'm extremely thankful to be a Louisianan because, as the governor said, incredibly generous state, always willing to step up and help each other. I'm extremely grateful for the incredible abundance of good food that we have in this country, so much that there is no need for anyone to go hungry. But I also feel a tremendous sense of urgency, so I have to thank the governor again for making this call to action. As I mentioned before, we need to be providing twice as many meals as we are currently, and that's after families provide for themselves. We all know who our needy neighbors are. There are grandparents that are struggling to decide between medicine and food. There are oil and gas workers who've seen a layoff and have, for the first time, need to ask for help. Their children going to WIC clinics in Tangipahoa Parish, where we, for the first time this year, were able to give a meal in addition to the services they received there. Their patients at an oncology department at UMC, who now can have fresh fruits and vegetables in addition to the chemo treatment that they're receiving for their cancer. The thing is, you all, the people of Louisiana, make it possible for food banks to do this work. And in this season of Thanksgiving, what you give us, the food and the funds that you give us, that is what's going to allow us to do our work 365 days a year. This is the time of year that we build up our reserves of food and funds. And so when that day comes, that the governor says to us, we need your help, because our state is facing an emergency of some kind, whether it's a natural disaster or an economic downturn, we'll be ready to go to work alongside the National Guard and do whatever we can do to help the people of Louisiana. So I'll end where I began by saying thank you. I'm so grateful to do the work that I do, because I get to see the most incredibly generous people that I've ever met every single day. Thank you, and I hope you can help us.
Thank you, Natalie. Ms. Jane?
I'd like to add my good morning to you all, and thank you for being here, and thank you, Governor, for issuing the call to action. Food banks do this work all year long, and we rely on the goodwill of the community to exist. It takes food, time, and money to make our work possible. Time in the way of volunteers, obviously food donations, and then money to make the trucks roll. And we need those things all year long, but especially during this time of year when we come in and we think we're going to be building on reserves, and in this case, we don't have a cushion or reserves. All that food's going out the door immediately, and so that speaks to an ever-increasing need. In Central Louisiana, we serve 11 parishes of the state and rely on an incredible network of volunteer partners and our partner agencies that, again, are doing this at our faith-based organizations, from soup kitchens to shelters to after-school programs. The food's critical, and there are so many in need. And just like Natalie said, we need to be doing double or even triple what we're doing to meet those needs. And so we are, again, asking for our community's help, our state's help, and assuring that we will be good stewards of those resources, because that's another way that food banks ensure, with our efficiencies, that we can stretch that dollar as far as it can go, and making sure that our neighbors are fed. You know, there is enough food in our country to feed everyone. No one should go hungry, especially in our own backyards. And so that's what the food banks are all about. And we are willing to work with anyone who's got food and donations. If you don't have a truckload of canned goods, that's okay. If you've got a case, that's wonderful. Or even if your children are participating in school food drives, just ask them to dig a little deeper. Everybody has someone to share, and that's how this all works. So again, we just thank you for being here, and thank the governor, the First Lady, for supporting us. We need all the help we can get, and thank you.
Thank you, Jane.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Corey Patty. I'm the Executive Director of Feeding Louisiana, the State Association of Food Banks. As we've heard today, hunger is a critical issue facing many Louisianans. Whether it's the child who hasn't had enough to eat to make it through the day, the minimum wage earner who works 2 jobs to try to make ends meet, or the retired grandmother now caring for grandkids on a fixed income, hunger and food insecurity are issues that impact Louisianans across all walks of life. The physical and mental effects of chronic food insecurity are often long-lasting and drastic. For that student whose decreased energy and focus hurts their performance in the classroom. For low-income employees who have less time and resources to find and prepare healthy meal options. For the grandparent who now has to choose between buying food and buying medicine. Louisiana's food banks are on the front line in this fight against hunger, providing a vital lifeline to communities and neighbors in need. Feeding Louisiana Food Banks leverage a statewide network of more than 900 community and faith-based organizations and programs, and work closely every day with businesses, healthcare providers, state and local government, charities, and devoted volunteers who help their neighbors in need in every community across the state. Thank you to Governor and First Lady Edwards for their championing this issue in Louisiana, and to everyone able to support the work of Louisiana's food banks during this holiday season. And with that, I will open it for questions.